Yo, I feel bad for telemarketers, y'all. Think about it. They spend all day in the office calling strangers who don't like them on first listen and hang up on them 90% of the time, and then they gotta just pretend like everything's good. Like, I feel bad. I hung up on 3 today. What's going on, everybody? It's the Granddad or Granddad Woolly, and you are here again for another edition of Woolly Reviews Film Data. We got a movie review today. We're gonna talk about the brand new movie that just fucking dropped. Well, it didn't drop everywhere, y'all. It's only in select places right now. But next week it's gonna be out full blown, so don't worry about it. You got some time. But I was able to see it a little early, so I wanted to talk about it. It's the new film by Boots Riley, and it's one that's been getting a lot of hype, a lot of attention, a lot of praise. So let's see what it's about, because I mean, it looks interesting as fuck. It really does. This nigga's back. He dropped some new shit. Telemarketing is a thankless job. I mean, honestly, like the moment that someone calls you from a telemarketing place, you click on them, automatic click, nigga, I don't want to talk to you. I ain't gonna buy shit. I'm broke, nigga. Fuck. I feel bad for them, but I'm hanging up all day. Talking about the new movie, Sorry to Bother You. Now, Sorry to Bother You, like I said, is a new movie by Boots Riley. It stars Lakeith Stanfield, who's mostly known for being on Atlanta. But this is a new movie that, I mean, I really don't know what this movie is about. I do, but I don't. And on the surface, this is a comedy film, but there are other sub-genres, I think, packed in here, what I heard. So it is a movie that's quite random for what it is, but I heard a lot of good shit about it. And Lakeith Stanfield has been on the roll lately, so why the fuck not? So now let's see if Sorry to Bother You is a movie that we are not sorry that it bothered us because it's a good-ass movie, or if sometimes you just need to stop calling motherfuckers and pushing your movie on them because the shit's fucking whack, nigga. Let's talk about the shit. Now, the basic setup of the movie is this. The main role of this film is handled by Lakeith Stanfield, who plays Cassius Green, and he is a motherfucker who is like pretty much not at a good spot in his life. He is broke as fuck. He don't got a job. Well, he's applying for jobs, and he ended up gets the job in actually the telemarketing shit. But before that, he didn't have a job. He drives a bucket. He lives in the garage of his uncle's house. Like, he ain't even got his own place. He lives in the goddamn garage, yo. And he is just trying to find a way to get his life on the right track, because right now it's all off the goddamn tracks. And the only good thing that he has in his life at the moment is his girlfriend, Detroit. Yeah, her name is Detroit, and she fine as hell, and she got these crazy earrings that she be wearing every goddamn scene that just says weird shit, or is this weird shit. It's weird shit on her ears, but like she makes them and shit. But she is pretty much his rock, the one who pretty much just ride or die. I mean, she know he broke as fuck and ain't gonna amount to nothing right now, but she said, yo, I mean, as Cassius though, that's what he do. Like, I don't mind living in his garage sometimes. She don't like it. But the movie really lends to Cassius with him getting a job at this telemarketing place called Regal Communications, and he pretty much just gets into the job. He lies to get into the job, y'all, but he still gets the goddamn job because it's telemarketing. You really don't need to know much to get the shit. Just call the motherfuckers and stick to the script like they say in the film. And he ends up becoming really, really good at it by getting a tip from none other than the homeboy, Danny Glover, who is old as fuck, but he's still killing it, y'all. Danny Glover's my dude. He's getting too old for this shit, but he's still killing it. But he is in this movie as well, and he gives Cassius sort of a tip on how to kind of get proper sales using the white voice. Now, I'm not gonna do it, y'all, but like basically, like it's hilarious how they do the white voice in the goddamn movie. And once Cassius gets that down, he starts selling fucking shit like hotcakes. And eventually he gets so good that he gets promoted to the powder caller level, which is another floor with a golden elevator, and you get to sell other shit that gets even more crazier. But while that's all happening, the people who live on the regular floor, who work on the regular floor of Regal, are trying to unionize because they ain't getting paid enough. They got no benefits. Everybody fucking sweating and shit because it's a cubicle with a fucking box and shit, and the fucking management is crazy as fuck. So all this shit is going on while Cassius is trying to get his life together, and when things seem to go in an upturn, he's kind of pulled in between two directions. Between, does he stay with the regular Regal motherfuckers who are trying to fight for the rights for the company, or does he move up to the powder caller section where they got fucking money and cars and all the great shit that he's always wanted and he has at his fingertips? So he has to kind of decide what he wants in life. Does he want the money or does he want the morality? Fuck, nigga, give me the money. I mean, sometimes, I don't know, I'm broke, nigga, so I felt Cassius on that one, I really did. And that's the basic setup of the movie in a nutshell, but here's the thing, is the movie good? And honestly, y'all, the movie is really good. It's very interesting and it's very random though. And here's the thing about it. The movie starts off with Cassius, like I said, wanting to get a job. He gets the job and things work out for him, but like, at the same time, you got this activist thing going on where they're really trying to unionize and do this whole thing that really kind of shows that people are trying to fight for their jobs and fight for their lives. But there's this other thing in the movie that's really interesting that really just shows off how random this movie is. There's this thing in the movie called, I think they call it the workplace or the workforce or some shit, I forget the name of it. But basically, there's this place that they created where you don't have to pay rent, you get to work there all day, and basically you get your meals paid for. Basically, you're choosing to go to prison in a way, and it's really wild how they pretty much just kind of spin it to make it seem like the most amazing place on earth. And the crazy part about it is the job that Cassius works at is heavily involved with that place, which is also something that his girlfriend is fighting against with this group called the Left Eye. So there's a whole bunch of random activist shit, political shit, as well as just a whole bunch of other random shit that gets really weird as the movie goes on, y'all. He meets this motherfucker who runs the place, and I'm not gonna give too much about it, but at some point in the movie, around like the middle to tail end, it gets really, really fucking weird. It involves people, horses, and cocaine. And I don't know what the hell happened, but it was like, what the fuck is going on? But basically, Cassius ends up at the highest of the highs, and then like literally with the cocaine and shit, but the highest of the highest in status, just to realize that shit is really fucked up and weird, and what's happening in the world and in his job and in his company is just not what he signed up for, and it goes against everything that he wants to. But at the same time, he's making a boatload of money, and he's at the highest point of his life that he's ever been. And that's the confusion, and that's the conflict that Cassius has to deal with. And then throughout this movie, he deals with it going back and forth. He has to deal with other people, and there's just all these crazy things that happens in between. And the movie is hilarious. It has this great comedy to it, this great satire to it that I enjoy. There's plenty of moments where it pokes fun at society, whether it's in the prison system, and whether it's in race relations, whether it's in worker, relations with, the unions and shit. There's so many things that goes on in this movie that are so subtle, but so very strong when you realize what they're doing. And Boots Riley did a great job pointing these things out while still keeping the movie light. And when it comes to the climax and the end of the movie, y'all, I don't want to give it away, but just know it gets really weird, and the ending is so random, but so crazy, but so unexpected. But they gave a hint of it earlier in the movie. Like, I can't explain this movie, y'all, that much because I'm going to give too much away. Basically, this movie is very funny, very interesting, but very random and very weird. And you're going to get so many elements. You're going to get a little drama. You're going to get a love story that kind of at the same time turns into a love triangle that doesn't really get fully like resolved, but it does happen in the movie. But there's also some sci-fi elements in there as well. It's just some random crazy shit that goes on. And it's just like, this movie is like very interesting, but I enjoyed the shit out of it. And I think Lakeith Stanfield did a great job as Cassius Green. He played his role amazingly well, and everything on it with the acting talent and the plot and the summary of the whole movie comes off well. It's not a perfect movie. It's not the greatest movie I've seen, but it's very, very good for what it is, and it's very, very random and weird, and I kind of like that shit about it. And it's just like, the ending part, y'all, is like, yo, it's wild. It's fucking wild as fuck. So my final verdict, I'm not saying that Sorry to Bother You is a very dope movie that's very interesting, very comedic, but yet has a random ass element about it that I don't know where the fuck it came from, but it's there. All I'm saying is that Boots Riley did a good job making this movie. He put together some weird shit. This motherfucker had to be high making this movie. Honestly, he had to be high as shit to come up with this fucking film. But no, it comes off for the most part very, very well. Minus some few things here and there with plot holes and, scenarios with the love triangle and just the random shit that happens at the end. But overall, Lakeith Stanfield does a great job as Cassius Green. You got great cameos from Danny Glover and Terry Crews in here as well. And everything just comes together very well for the most part. And I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. Would I go see it again? Yes. Would I pay to see it again? Probably not, but I would watch the movie again because it's so random and they got these crazy comedic one-liners and moments that really does keep your attention throughout the film. So all I gotta say is that for me, Sorry to Bother You is not Granddad approved, but I will give it a very highly Granddad recommended. So go check it out. It's out in select theaters now. Just check on just look online and see if it's out where you're at. If not, it comes out on the 13th, full blown. So check this movie out. I definitely think it's worth the watch. Definitely think it's worth to go see it just for the movie itself. But yo, don't expect anything. Don't go in expecting something because you're not gonna get what you expect. I'm just gonna say that, but I'm gonna leave it at that. Watch the movie and you know what I mean. But I got nothing more to say. Sorry to Bother You. It's very highly Granddad recommended. So go watch the shit right fucking now, if you can. Flip it. All right, y'all, that's going to do it for today's video. Make sure you give me a thumbs up and drop a comment. Tell me what you think of Sorry to Bother You if you've seen it. If you have not seen it, like I said, it's out in select theaters, out all the way next week. Check this out. Lakeith Stanfield does a great job in this movie. It's dope. It's funny. It's random. It doesn't have everything that I would love in the movie, but it is very entertaining. I think you should check it out at least once. And shit, y'all, horses, people, cocaine. Just remember that. Remember that shit. It's wild. Previous videos on the site, as well as my new music video, R.T.B 3, just dropped yesterday. Check that shit out. It's fire. As well as Twitter, Facebook, SoundCloud, Instagram. Links in the description below. And subscribe. Button on the screen. Button below. Woolly Reviews twice a week, as well as my gaming videos. Let's talk about the shit. All the info is all below. And you know what it is. I got nothing more to say. So until next time I take my leave, granddaughter, sorry to bother you. It's a good film. Funny, random as fuck, but it's dope. And like, yo, like horses, cocaine, people. Remember that. You're going to be fucking... I can't get it out of my head, y'all. I really can't. I'm out of here.